Apparently, I'm back in time for World War III, and I hate to say that we told you so.
Okay, we're going to take a look at some panicked takes about World War III from the PANICANS, as Trump may call them. We're going to start with Dave Smith here. This actually, from Dave Smith, is before the bunker buster bombs even.
Over and over again. But now we've pushed them to the point where they probably don't feel that they have the option not to respond. And Donald Trump telling them to come back to the negotiating table now is a joke.
Yeah.
I mean, what a impotent leader to be sitting there.
Dude, what are you doing?
Talking about coming back to the negotiating table. It's like sitting after Pearl Harbor and telling FDR, now's the time to go negotiate with the Japanese. Right. Negotiations are over now.
Pearl Harbor? Bro.
Negotiations was before this. And so, yeah, Donald Trump looks, and man, I supported him this last year. I apologize for doing so. It was a bad calculation. At the time, it seemed like the...
Look, I'll make this point again. What a lot of, in my opinion, the never intervene at all cost crowd doesn't understand, I think, is peace through strength only works if the other countries or other people in the world think that you're capable of the strength part. A lot of if Trump and his cabinet just had all people Dave Smith approved of, I don't know if he could then be like, don't do that, or I'm going to do this thing.
Right one. But he should be impeached and removed for this one. Wow. And not on some not on some ridiculous Nancy Pelosi. Of course, the Congress will never do it.
Why? As Trump called it, the 12-day war. For what? This is one of the bigger overreactions I've seen. I feel like I'm commenting on just a total woke left lunatic right now, to be honest.
Do it because they're all a bunch of, corrupt hacks.
This is the one thing they support. This is
Donald Trump should be impeached and removed for this. All of his supporters should turn on him. It's the absolute betrayal of everything that he ran and campaigned on and everything that he stood for. And
what an overreaction. We will now get to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. AOC also brought up impeachment. This was after those bunker buster bombs.
Separately, we are hearing from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, a leading Democrat right now, who is reacting strongly to the president's comments and saying in effect that his strikes today amount to grounds for impeachment. Let me read in part what we're hearing from her in the form of a statement saying the president's, in her words, disastrous decision to bomb Iran without authorization is a grave violation of the Constitution. And she says the congressional war powers he has, in her words,
without all, the U.S. military would not work at all if you had to get congressional approval for everything. Everybody understands that. What's with all the just ridiculous posturing? Oh, he's got to get congressional. The military wouldn't work. Everybody knows that, though. You can understand that if you're 8 years old. You got to go talk to 400 people. Hey, can I do this? That would never work. On June 23rd, AOC had this to say about the strikes, plus her statement with regard to the impeachment.
The United States admitting that he unilaterally brought the United States into a war without congressional approval is a very grave public admission. It is illegal, it is unconstitutional, and so...
She does not look to me like she believes in what she's saying or knows what she's talking about. Look at her body language.
For me, while the president is posting something about a ceasefire, I think what he also posted was an official acknowledgement that this was war. And I think that is something that should be taken into very serious consideration.
There are a lot of Democrats who are throwing cold water.
It's like she goes into sentences without knowing where is it going to go, just one word at a time.
On the idea that the president deserves to be impeached over this and saying that you shouldn't be throwing around impeachment given it's such a grave, serious matter. What do you say to that?
I mean, of course, everyone can have their differences of opinion regarding that matter. A resolution has not been filed, and not filed in a privileged sense. I believe that a president bombing and bringing this country into...
Look, the AOC stock is about to go way down, I would predict. In a post-woke, it's not really post-woke, but I think woke is definitely peaked before. AOC is not going to work anymore. If she has to just go on merit, she doesn't know what she's talking about.
Direct conflict with another nation state without notifying full notification of Congress without congressional approval, endangering service members, U.S. military bases, not providing intelligence is reckless. I think that, and we know that this is not a left or right issue. An overwhelming amount of Americans are opposed to the United States being dragged into war. And
that was the only statement she said with any conviction. The rest of it sounds like a book report that you didn't study for.
If we want to talk about serious decisions, I think the serious decision of entering the United States into direct conflict without any legal approval, unconstitutionally, is the grave decision that we need to be talking about right now. Thank you so much.
Again, the U.S. military, any military, wouldn't work like that. You can't be like, it just would be the slowest thing ever. Oh, wait, we'll get back to you in a year and a half, and we'll respond to what you just did or what is happening in the world. Nope, like clown world. Okay, one more clip. It's Candace Owens and Ian Carroll. This was kind of going around on Twitter. I think this clip has quite a few jump cuts.
Apparently, I'm back in time for World War III, and I hate to say that we told you so. By we, I mean me and Ian Carroll. Ian!
Wow. Candace Owens has had some very good takes in the past, but oh my gosh, that's like textbook panicking.
I mean, it's incredible. And it's looking like we may be going to war, which either I had a crystal ball, you had a crystal ball, could see into the future, or this has been the most obvious and the most planned war in the history.
And we're not the only one. I think that Trump would be very easily swayed to think all you need to do is show him some intelligence reports, show him like some spooky stuff about Iran's stockpile of like almost nuclear material and be like, look, they almost have a bomb.
So I trust Tucker beyond, more than any person in politics. The MAGA movement is going to change, okay?
Yeah.
And there's no question about that.
Trump is on the edge right now. He's ready to burn his entire legacy to the ground because everything was laid out for him. All he had to do was close the border, deport a bunch of people, and not go to war. And so far, it's failing on all three counts and actually going to the wars we didn't want. And
Look, I'm sure there's people watching this video right now who are fans of Candace or Dave Smith or Ian. I'm less familiar with Ian Carroll. I've heard of him. I'll still probably watch Candace's stuff in the future because she's a good entertainer. But man, these are bad takes, in my opinion.
It's really sad.
This is going to be the one of the Candace is right jar. But it's not even that I'm right. I'm just paying attention. I'm just paying attention to stuff.
Okay, then we have a tweet here from Trump, or a truth, I guess. It's not politically correct to use the term regime change, but if the current Iranian regime is unable to make Iran great again, why wouldn't there be a regime change? MIGA, make Iran great again, I guess that means. And then Ian says, all right, conservative influencers, time to go and delete your tweets that you wouldn't support regime change and move your goalposts again. All hail President Netanyahu. And this was on June 23rd, 2025. It's like they've never even heard of President Trump before. Is President Trump not the greatest troll ever? Not everything he says is exactly going to be policy the next day. He's working his magic on literally, I would say it's almost like magic on social media like nobody else can do. I'll show one tweet here from Cat Turd. Okay, same post here is being quoted, and then Cat Turd says, we call it a little trolling. Again, it's like these people with the World War III, oh my gosh, everything's over. It's like they've never heard of President Trump. I'm going to play one more clip here. Alex Karp, CEO of Palantir, which is a really big defense company, explaining how President Trump is so good at just not accepting the given paradigm.
The second thing, I'll tell you something I think Trump does very, very well. He says, I'm not going to accept a paradigm that essentially leads to a stupid conclusion. And he's like, okay, great. I'm going to give you a new paradigm. You don't like that, my paradigm? Give me another one. And I think he's quite brilliant at this.
Exactly. He is brilliant at that. So what's the advantage to Trump, the USA, if Iran thinks that at no cost there's going to be regime change? Obviously, that would not be, if it's like a repeat of 2003, it would be awful. But what's the harm in just posting that for Trump? Why just totally take everything off the table? That's, again, the flaw, I think, in a lot of these libertarian points of view. You're just giving away all these options based on your ideology. And again, I firmly believe Trump is a peacemaker and he wants peace. Why would you just like signal to the world that all these options are off the table? It just makes no sense. And here's a recent clip from CNN, which I'd say kind of summarizes where we're at right now.
The ceasefire between Israel and Iran appears to be holding for now, while President Trump spends his night in the Netherlands for the NATO summit just hours after announcing that deal.
So obviously no World War III right now. I don't think, though, you want to be too arrogant about this in either direction. I mean, the stakes are just way too high. I'm going to end this off with one clip here because I've never heard Trump drop an F-bomb.
You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
Do you kind of respond to Iran?
I thought about it. I actually have heard Trump drop an F-bomb.
The ocean will rise 1/100% over the next 300 fucking years.
So anyway, with that said, I'll finish the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like and subscribe. Have a great day.